if it just cut off when I was like, I'm coming, and then it cut off. Like, well, what kind of show is this? Welcome to my open mic. I'm Denise Medina. This is not actually my open mic, but it's Summer Austin's open mic, but it's called My Open Mic. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming in. I was just out having lunch with some friends, and we were paying attention to the social distancing and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's nice to come back in and feel safe in this comedy world. And you know, it's so funny because here I am, my house is really quiet, and then as soon as I started doing the show, it started thundering outside. So if you hear the thunder, it's like Mother Nature giving me the applause. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take it. I'll take it. Also, my dog, because I'm very loud right now, because with technology and microphones and earplugs and stuff, I'm that person who thinks nobody can hear me. So it's like when technology first came out, and I was like, hey, can you hear me? How's your connection? Like, I think everybody's on ISDN dial-up, you know, and it's not. So I will come around, and maybe I will lower my tone, or you could just turn down the volume on your headset if that's more comfortable. But what's interesting is my dogs think I'm actually spending quality time with them, because I'm talking, and they're like all excited, and they came over here, and they're actually like sitting under my legs right now. So I wish I could put the camera on and show you. They're so adorable. But as long as they don't heckle me, we're good. We're good. So I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix and Amazon Prime and whatnot. And I think we all are binge watching stuff. And I'm kind of tired of some of the stuff I see. So I started thinking of my own shows. For example, I don't really watch any reality TV, but I hear a lot of people talking about The Bachelor, right? And I'm like, so I know the concept, and I might have caught an episode here or there. However, I would watch that show. I have a better show, I think, that everybody would love to watch. And I call it Love Under the Big Top. Because it's The Bachelor meets the circus. Because The Bachelor is a clown. Like, for the whole show, he would be dressed up in clown gear, right? You know, the makeup and the pom-poms and all that kind of stuff. But then he'd also have like the big clown shoes. So it would make contestants kind of wonder, like, you know, the movie Seven, like, what's in the box? Women would be like, what's in the shoe? We don't know. We won't know, because the shoes will be giant, but we don't know. You'll have to wait to the end of the show, you know, for the big reveal. But I think what would be interesting is the first episode, we would see the contestants being picked up by a bunch of clown cars. Like, they'd all drive around picking up the contestants. And instead of taking them to a hotel, like a luxury hotel with swimming pools and hot tubs, no. They will be going to the big top, where they will share a trailer. I think that would be very exciting. And of course, the people that you pick have to be terrified of clowns and terrified of heights, because the competition would consist of, like, we'd add music and magic and circus acts, definitely circus acts. You know, things that are kind of dangerous, like the trapeze or juggling. Although juggling may not be that dangerous, but I don't know. It could be, depending on what you're juggling, right? Like knives and whatnot. Because people like danger. So I think what we could do is the contestants that don't get invited to come back will be shot out of a cannon. Like, I would love to see that. Wouldn't that be amazing? There she goes. Hated that bitch. Anyway, and the ones that get invited to stay, I'm still kind of torn. Like, do they get a big red, instead of a long stem red rose, they get a big red clown nose? Or maybe they'll get that long stem red rose, but it will squirt water, right? Like, wouldn't that be great? I think that'd be a good show, because, you know, the big reveal would be the end, the season finale, where we find out, is he hot? Is he hideous? We don't know. I mean, right away, because they're going to have a lot of commercials, and it'd be great for publicity advertising. But I think what would happen is the contestant would get her true heart's desire, right? So it doesn't matter if he's hot or hideous. And then she'll also get a contract for the sequel, I Married a Clown. That's a show I would watch. That's something I would definitely watch. Another thing I thought about is, now that football's over, there's something we can look forward to, possibly, when everything opens up again, would be like NASCAR, right? Not any of the political stuff, but just NASCAR, like I think I would watch it if they had like some more interesting things going on with it instead of people just going around left the whole time. I think what would happen is if they had like, if the whole track was covered with potholes, that could be exciting. Or if they just randomly release a bag of squirrels, that could be interesting too. I think also like maybe the fourth lap would have to be done on foot, you know? And then maybe the drivers would have to like change their own tires and then refuel their own cars, do that themselves. But another really interesting thing I would like to see would be if they had some satchel charges that were detonated by the kids in the stands, you know, but only enough to blow a tire, you know, because we don't want anybody to get seriously hurt. And then of course there would have to be pedestrians running across the track thinking that they can beat a car that's going over 200 miles an hour. And then you have to have those people who are selling, is it Knights of Columbus that they go in the street and they start selling raffles or pins or buttons and raising money? I think you should have some of those people in there as an obstacle, as well as, yeah, these are just the things I'm thinking about in quarantine, you know? The final thing I think that would be the most exciting part of NASCAR would if they have a junker car, like a pickup, that's stacked 2 stories high with junk metal and a bungee cord that's like loose. That would be, like, I could get into this is what I'm saying. So I don't know about you guys. Is that something you would watch? I think everybody would want to watch it. I mean, it sounds exciting, right? I mean, it's a start. It's a start. We could always like, you know, I don't know, maybe I should start producing these shows on my own. So stay tuned. You never know what's going to happen during quarantine, the things that I'm going to be thinking of, as well as everybody else here tonight, right? So, oh, I also want to let you know that if you are interested in doing 3 minutes on this open mic, go in the chat and let Summer know, let her know, and we'll see what happens, right? You'll get in the lineup. It'll be great. I'd love to hear some of your material. So please do. So the host, me, tonight, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Can you tell? I've been drinking coffee all morning and I should slow down. I'm really excited to be here to work with Summer again. And she's the co-host of, co-producer of The Go-Go Show. Put your hands together and let's finally welcome Summer Austin. Yeah.
Aw, thank you so much, everybody. Hi. Soli, yes, we'll do 3 minutes. Awesome. Let's give it up for Denise. Thank you so much. Yay. Yeah, y'all. Hey, friends. This is just a thing that I did for myself and some of my friends to just talk about, you know, a really short, very short open mic that lasts like 10, 15, 20 minutes max, where my friends and I can do some material if we want to. And not necessarily, I love open mics, but sometimes they do go on for a very long time. But there is one person here, Trish, who hosts a freaking awesome open mic, and it's like my favorite one. And, you know, but you know, for most of them, when they're like co-ed and stuff like that, like I don't really love it. So Trish hosts a very great like all women's open mic. It's awesome. So you should look that up. Trish, if you want to go ahead and just put that in the chat so that everyone can see that information. Awesome. Okay, so yeah. So this is just like, Denise is great. I love, how about Denise's energy? Do you know what I mean? I just like love your character and just like your whole, it's just like, you're so easygoing. I love it. I wish I was like that. I've also been drinking coffee, but I'm super fucking edgy. Do you know what I mean? Like coffee just makes me like really, really edgy. And this is just my time to like say a few things that I wrote down, usually like when I was high or had too much coffee, like earlier today. And these are just things, random things that I wrote on Post-it notes, and we're just gonna see if they stick. And look at that, I just made a dad joke. I can't believe it. Yes, I'm not much of a punny person, but I did it. So anyway, I did have this Post-it note written on my desk that said lots of witches. I put that out on Instagram. It's just lots of witches. That's it. So we'll talk about that in a second. Now, you know, Denise mentioned this idea of like not being able to hear you and stuff like not being able. I'm already exhibiting signs of like that. I know I'm getting older and kind of turning into my mother. Like I repeat things a lot, which is, you know, in stand-up comedy we do that, right? We repeat things a lot. So I forget what stories I've told to people, and it's starting to get a little embarrassing. But my mother the other day, like, here's this thing. My mom is like my hero. Okay, she is like, she was called a commie by my racist uncle during Thanksgiving dinner. So like, how can she not be like the best person in the world, right? I was like 5 years old and I was like, Mommy, what's a commie? Still remember that conversation. It was pretty awesome. She's the best. But she was like, now she just goes on these liberal rants like all the time. And I love that my mom is liberal. Both my parents are. I love it. Thank God. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise I'd have to disown them. But my mom was saying something the other day. We were talking about, I don't know what, something about capitalism. I don't know, right? You know, just like whatever the current political climate. And my mom she goes, you know what I think, Summer? You know what I think? It's all about the money. And I was like, cool, Mom. Is that like, she said it like it was her idea. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like the guy who invented socialism. Do you know what I mean? Like, and who is that? I don't know. Marx? Did he invent? I don't know. But all I know is it was not my mom's original idea that afternoon. Do you know what I mean? She made it sound like it totally was. And that's the thought that terrifies me, right, as I get older. So let's see. So, you know, these thoughts that I'm writing down, they may not be funny yet, but they are my own, except for the ones that I stole from all of you. Just kidding. I did get accused of stealing some material recently, privately over Zoom. It's very interesting. The material I was accused of stealing by another comic was a story that many of you have heard that I told about my dad, Party, who offered to hire a hitman to kill my ex-husband. And so this comic was like, I think you stole my story. And I was like, holy shit, you also have a story about your dad named Party who offered to hire a hitman for $3,000 to kill your husband who left you after 17 years from when it was 25-year-old acting students? Holy shit! And I was like, where was I during that? You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like, you know, sometimes I do like stare off into the middle distance. You know, like I seem like I'm paying attention, but I'm really just staring off into the middle distance. Like right now, like it looks like I'm paying attention, right? But I'm really just, it's just a 10,000 yard stare that goes on forever. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, but I think I would have remembered that. Do you know, like I think I would have maybe remembered that same story. Turns out that they just were like, they were accusing me of stealing the premise, right? Of like, I guess their dad also hired somebody to kill off their ex-husband or something like that. And I was like, listen, if that is also the case, we need to be friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, not enemies, okay? And now we are, so it's all good. It's like, it's all good. We're super friends, and that's how we bonded. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, you don't want to get someone like that on your, like, mad at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know who their dad knows, and it's like their dad and my dad really should get together. So, you know, Denise mentioned reality TV, and so a couple of you might know that I've been obsessed lately with this idea of reality TV. I'm trying to see the connections between things. Do you know what I mean? If we get back to this lots of witches idea, which we will in a second, I'm trying to see like the connections between things. And right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see the connections between season 2009 of The Bachelor and my failed relationships. Do you know? It's really, and some people might be like, hey, Summer, you might need to see a therapist, right? And to that I reply, but The Bachelor is free. Do you know what I mean? Like, The Bachelor season 2009 is the only one that's free on Netflix. So I'm just gonna watch season 2009, just that season, over and over and over again until I make the connections. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just really want to do it. And I think I might have made a little bit of a connection here, because I'm sitting here going, what is it that men want? What is it that men want, right? Where did I go wrong, right? Where did I go wrong in that relationship? And I think I figured it out. men just want someone who's thin with big tits who's 25 years old, because that's what my husband wanted, you know? So it's, again, like, I'm just trying to see the connections. I'm trying to see where did I go wrong in this. Let's see. Oh, real quick, before my time is up, let me talk about this lots of witches post-it note that just appeared on my desk. What happened is that after my life kind of took a turn, so many women friends of mine like crawled out of the woodwork and revealed themselves to be witches. So many of them, like I'm talking like almost a dozen people that I know, including members of my own family. And maybe some of you also fancy yourselves witches, right? I went through a phase in undergraduate where I actually thought I was a Wiccan as well. I was like, I'm going to start my own coven. Not anymore. But again, trying to see the connections between these things. Like, how is it that, like, you know, this is my life? And I had all these people who came out and they were like, I'm a witch. And I feel like saying to them, this is what I was like. So I actually had a friend who they were giving me rocks. They're giving me, I'm trying really hard. Like I'm trying, like I said, I wanted to start my own coven. I'm wearing 6 different kinds of crystals right now. There's 5 here and 1 around my neck that my witchy friend made. Okay. I'm trying so hard. I'm like, come on, I gotta get, but then I was like, said to my friend, I'm like, witch, where were you when I needed you? Do you know what I mean? Witch, where were you when I spent 17 years with a man who ended up leaving me for a 25-year-old acting student? Witch, come on, witch. Where are my witches at? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where were they then? What is the path I'm trying to figure out right now? Where did I go wrong? Now, I'm trying so hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is, like, I don't believe in, like, a higher, I mean, I don't know what I believe in. I don't believe that there's, like, I think there's no God, right? I don't believe there's like a big man in the sky who's looking down on us is going to save us all. But I do believe that these fucking rocks are going to heal me. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna make it all better, right? This is for heart opening, God damn it. It's gonna open your heart. And that's the thing that I think I've really learned from watching season 2009 of The Bachelor, and this is what I'll leave you with, is that these women on the show, they just have such an open heart. Do you know what I mean? They really do. Like this one who was making a vision board, and the center of it said marriage, and then she was the first one to get eliminated on the first episode, the very first one to get eliminated, and she said, I may not have gotten the rose, but I know vision boards are real. And I was like, that is a fucking great outlook on life. Do you know what I mean? There's another one who just go, I mean, like, right, because literally it's like, I mean, that example is the exact opposite of what the vision board should be for. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she said marriage, and she was first cut, right? Okay. Then this other gal, she said, touching Jason's hands or his shoulders with my bare hands to put sunscreen on him was a gift. And I was like, oh my God, right? Soli's, you know, you're rolling your eyes. I have never had that thought about a man in my life, you guys. Never in my life have I ever thought it was a gift to touch a man's bare shoulders. What I'm saying is these women deserve love. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Give it up for Denise again.
And thank you, Summer Austin.
Yeah. Denise, do you have anything you want to plug? Do you have anything?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Before we get to our open mic, we have another comic coming up, which is fantastic, and I love this gal. But I do want to plug that I do co-produce a show, Monday Night Funnies. It's every other Monday, but the next one, we're calling it Ladies of Comedy, so it's an all-lady lineup. August 31st, Monday, 7 p.m. And I will be putting the link on my socials because I broadcast it live on YouTube. So make sure to check it out at that time. But let's bring up our next comic. I wasn't sure if you wanted to do this summer or not, but I'm here. I'm doing it. Let's welcome Soli Santos. Yeah, Soli.
Well, can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. I have my mic off. I wasn't obviously prepared like to do this, but you know, I like the spontaneity and that I have to just kind of be on the spot. And so just a little bit of my background during this whole entire COVID lockdown. the only really human that I have had regular, constant contact with is the one human that I live with, and that is my boyfriend. So we love each other, and we have to right now because. All right. This is it. You know, for better or for worse. We're not legally married, but apparently we are. That's what it feels like already. But we've saved lots of money not going through the actual process. So, but you know, it's interesting because our relationship has evolved through this whole thing. There are a couple of things that I've like changed my perspective on in terms of our relationship. For one, we have an interracial relationship. I'm Puerto Rican and he's African American. So basically, we're chocolate and butter pecan Rican. That's what. So, it's a lovely combination. It's actually quite delicious. You guys should try it. You know, it's funny because you know, I don't have any tattoos, but he does, and he would love for me to have get tattoos, but I can't commit. I can't commit, which kind of extends into the relationship why we're not married. But also, one of the good things about the fact that he has a tattoo, he actually has the Serenity prayer tattooed on his right pec, which is very nice because it gives me something to read whenever I'm sucking on his right nipple. It's I like how I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm, you know, praying and you know, sucking on his nipples. Those are the combinations you want, right? That's what you want to do. You know, I'm a Latina, and so as a Latina, we have our dysfunctions, and one is that we don't culturally express our feelings about people, so it's hard to say I love you to friends and families, you know, so we do it in secret code. So the first time I said I love you to him, I didn't actually use the words. I just was like, hey, do you want something to eat? Like that's how I express my love. And headlocks. I was a bit of a tomboy and grew up with corporal punishment. So this is, I think that corporal punishment doesn't come out in a negative fashion as an adult. Well, I don't know. Let's think about it. If you're going to therapy, corporal punishment fucked you up. That's all I'm saying. You guys let me know when my 3 minutes are up. I feel like my 3 minutes are up. I'm not timing it. That's what I figured. Thank you.
All right. Yay! Thank you so much, Denise and Soli. Give it up for everybody. Yay! Laureen, do you want to do any time?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Do it.
Do it. Do you just want to talk for 3 minutes? I'll time you.
Yeah, can someone, you guys, I've never done this before. I mean, I've done stand-up, I've bombed all the time. But what, tell me, okay, give me a topic.
Okay, someone want to give Laureen a topic?
Grocery shopping during COVID.
Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping during COVID. Thank you so much.
I'll just give you the light. 1 minute left in the chat, Laureen, okay?
Great.
Off you go.
So I was out. Oh, thank you so much. You guys, I didn't even put on a bra for this event. I was like, I'm just gonna go sign up, watch some people do some comedy, and now I'm being recorded saying I'm not wearing a titty holder. It's totally fine. Okay. So I was staying out in Las Vegas actually when COVID started. I thought it would be a really good idea at 40 years old to get quarantined with my 65-year-old parents. So that was a lot of fun. I started to reorganize my mom's cupboard, and I learned that for two people, my mom and my dad, and I'm not kidding, like this isn't a bit. They have 54 coffee cups. I fucking counted. They have 54 coffee cups, and they have 8 colanders. Like, what world do you live in where you need that many coffee cups? And it really stressed me out. I'm like, there are people in this world who don't even drink coffee that could use these coffee cups for pen holders. But I don't know. So I spent a lot of COVID. Well, I went to Vegas in January and February to get out of Chicago winter. And then my 2-month vacation extended to 4 months. And my partner lives back in Chicago, and everyone was like, do you miss your boyfriend? And I was like, no, I don't. He's a lovely person, but he's born and raised in Chicago. He's lived in the same apartment for 15 years. He's routine, like he follows routine. It's essentially like I'm dating someone with mild autism. And my mom is a special education teacher. And she's like, no, Laureen, I think he's on the spectrum. He has to be on the spectrum. And I'm like, Mom, stop trying to like show us all of your special education knowledge by just taking people in my life and telling me that they have like mental deficiencies. But anyways, my partner and I are moving in together in like a week. Also, I'm just telling you things about my life now. This isn't even funny. Ooh, 1 minute left. You guys, are either of you sweating? Am I sweating because it's hot or I'm nervous? I don't know.
I'm sweating.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And I've already showered for today. Well, the next 3 days, really. Like, why am I gonna shower when I'm not going anywhere, right? What's the point? Okay, that's all. That's all I have right now. Thanks.
Thank you. Can you hear? Oh, I'm back. I had to mute. My dog started to heckle me, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm not even performing yet. So, but I'm glad to be back. I've been watching. That was so funny. Thank you so much. We have another comic, which is very exciting. Please welcome Trish Sullivan. Woo!
I just really wanted to riff on what other people were saying. First of all, I took off my bra to come to this.
Yes.
And 4 years ago, I moved to Omaha for a while. And before I moved, I packed up everything, sorted through everything, I put most of my shit in storage. And I had so many coffee cups that I gave like millions of them away. And then I moved back in here. I moved back about a year ago, and I unpacked everything. And I still have 15, well, I had over 20, and I gave a whole bunch away. And I still have 15 coffee mugs. And I live alone. So, and my pet is a fidget spinner pen, who I named Spinny, because I live alone. And this is the 163rd day of confinement. So it's been a long time. I do talk to people, and I do a lot of sit down and stand up on Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell a real joke, and then I'm going to give back my time to the room. I've noticed a few months ago that the countries that are doing best in COVID have women as leaders. Iceland, Germany, New Zealand has had like 4 new cases since May.
Yeah.
They're all run by women, and they know what the hell they're doing. So I think we need more female leadership in the world. And to that end, I'm volunteering to be queen of the universe. So first thing I'm going to do is take care of COVID and a few other things in the US and get us back on track. And then I have a couple of decrees I'm going to make. The first one is that from now on, your diet should be seen and not heard. Nobody wants to hear about your diet. I don't know what keto is, and I don't care. I know that it makes you feel good, your diet. You know what makes me feel good? Masturbating. I promise I will not tell you how many times a week I'm changing the batteries in my vibrator if you'll stop talking to me about your personal relationship with kale. And then my other decree, here's my crown, by the way. my other decree is regarding avocados. Now, when you go into stores, there'll be 3 bins. One will say, these avocados are ready to eat today. And the next bin will say, these avocados will be ready in 2 days. The other one will be in 4 days. Because avocados, you know, you never know what you're getting. It's always a crapshoot. So we need that to be straightened out because avocados are like men. They're either too hard or too soft, and they're really only good for like 15 minutes. And if you miss the window, you're just shit out of luck. That's all I'm going to do today. I'm Queen Trish.
Yay! Thanks so much, everybody. Let's give it up for Laureen, Soli, Trish, and Denise. Oh my gosh, we did a round like a pop-up open mic for. It's awesome. Thank you so much for getting under the lights and sweating it out together, everybody. Love you guys. I'll send you all a copy of the video. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to see everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.